Guys, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by again. Today, I want to talk about the love of vintage watches. And I've been talking on previous videos why not to buy a vintage watch. That was my last video. And I gave you guys a few good reasons why not to buy a vintage watch. If the watch wasn't working, if the watch had issues, and how hard it is to find parts for older vintage watches. But that's in the previous video. You can see it here on my list. But on this video, I'm going to talk to you guys why you should buy a vintage watch. Why you can't find in a new watch what you could find in a vintage watch. And on this video, I'm going to show you part of my watches, part of the watches that I don't see me parting with, and watches that as soon as I see them, they just bring a big smile to my face, and watches that I've been accumulating during the years, and that I have simply no interest in selling, and no interest in exchanging, and no interest in upgrading. A lot of times when you buy a new watch, you like that watch for a certain amount of time, and then you look to upgrade that watch. You look to get something newer, something better. When you buy a new watch, next year the new models come out, and sometimes you just want that new model of that watch. That doesn't exist in the vintage world. The vintage world, you buy what you could find. You hunt for something that you've been looking for a long time, and when you finally get it, it's like a trophy piece. It's a piece that that you don't see yourself selling or parting with. It's a piece that will make your collection, and especially if it's something that you've been wanting for a long time, and you finally got a chance to obtain it. And they're just great pieces to have, to accumulate, and great pieces to have in your collection. Now, the watches I'm going to show you, I'm pretty sure you've seen them before, and I'll show you the inside and out of the watch. And on vintage watches, there is no glass back on them. There is no seeing the beauty of the heart of the movement. These were really just true tool watches that had a purpose in life, and there was no need back then to show you the wonders of the movement. There was no need back then to show off how nice and how precise the art of watchmaking. There was no need to show you the art of the watchmaker, because it was just something. It was just something that was built for you to use, built for it to keep time, and sadly, a lot of these watches, you will never get to see the workings of the watch. But on this video, I'm going to show you the inside and out of the watch. Now, you see me in a different scenario. I brought you guys today to my house living room instead of the shop. I don't know. I just felt like doing the video up here, and I felt it represented the watches a little bit better. So let me flip it around and show you a few of the watches that I'm talking about. So today I'm going to start with my Tissot 6212. Beautiful, beautiful watch. What made me fall in love with this watch was the dial, a true tropical dial. No faux patina, everything just, no redone dial, everything just done, to perfection. I'll show you the movement of the watch in a second. So it's a shame that a movement like this would not come with an exhibition case back. I'll show you the case back for this watch. It's just a normal, with the proper signature cinder. But look at this movement, guys. Nice Lamagna movement. Column wheel chronograph. I know that's important to some of you guys. I'll show you the column wheel in action. And what it does, it just gives you a smoother start to the chronograph. Right there, the chronograph is engaged. We stop it and we reset it. Just beautiful, beautiful movement on these old vintage watches. Something that you will not get on a modern watch, especially not for the kind of money you could buy this watch for. This watch I wouldn't even dare put a price on there, but it for the quality of the watch, I don't think you would spend, if you try to buy one like this, I don't think you would spend more than $1,000. And believe me, guys, that is good money for a watch like this one here. There are cheaper chronographs with Landerons or Venus movement, but in this case, this watch, and this is the same Lemania base movement that any Omega would use on their watches. It was the same company back then. So this is just one of the watches that are a cornerstone of my collection, guys. There it is again. I'm gonna cover this one up, and I'll show you the next one. Next watch that you guys probably already know a little bit too well. It's my triple register Breitling. Breitling gets a lot of flack nowadays, and in the 70s, this is where they were just making absolutely beautiful chronographs. Now, at the 70s, that's when they started merging with Secura, and then they started going downhill from now. The company was in trouble by then, but still, by the time they made this watch, they just made a phenomenal job on a watch like this. You probably can't tell but the matte black on the dial, it's just a beautiful color. The contrast, easy to read. Beautiful watch. If you guys weren't comfortable with 36 millimeter or 33 millimeter, this would be something you guys would be interested in, and it's just a beautiful watch. I'll show you the movement of this watch. Okay, Lemania 1873, and right there you can read it on the bottom of the balance. This watch did not come with a column wheel, but look at the similarities. It's basically the same movement as the Omega 321. Just a beautiful watch. Smooth start. The chronograph is engaged right there. Just a smooth start. And really didn't. I know there's a lot of hype with the column wheel, but a watch like this, it was just the same as having a column wheel. You wouldn't get a big jump. You wouldn't get a big hype at the start of the chronograph, and it was just well-made watches, guys. I'm falling short for words because I'm looking at this movement again for a long. I haven't seen it in a long time, and wish I had an exhibition case back as well. Just a beautiful Lemania movement, guys. And this and a Breitling. Triple register. Triple register movement. Absolutely just loving it. So this is more of a show and tell, guys, than a video about explaining the movement or explaining something about the watches. I'll show you my next piece. Before I cover it up, I just want to show you guys the case back, how it's properly signed. And that was the point I was making on one of the other watches that when I showed you a fake Breitling chronograph on eBay. Breitling, even though they didn't sign a lot of their movements, they signed every single case back. So I just wanted to show you guys this one here. And last but not least, my Omega Constellation. I didn't set the time on that one. There we go. Time only watch. Now, even though I love chronographs, there is nothing nicer than a vintage 36 millimeter Omega Constellation. Now this is the very first line of Constellations made. If you see the back, this is a pop-out back. It's not a screw down. Uh, After the second run of these Constellations, they figured out that it was much more water secure to waterproof to have them with the screw down case back. See right here, Constellation. And this is negligence of people trying to open up the watch and date during the years and not having the proper tools or not having the proper knowledge. Now, when buying a Constellation, the thing I like to look at first, I want to see my constellation. I want to see my stars that are nice and they're not worn out, because these would wear out in a lot of these watches, and I like to see it, nice and that you could tell the stars are there. This one here, it does have a patina in the dial, but it's just something that I've learned to live with. The crystal, it's not an original Omega crystal, it's just a replacement, but I figured I just put that there so you could see the beauty of the dial. Watch is just an incredible shape with its original band. And this is one of the watches that I truly enjoy, guys. And like I said, there's a lot of reasons not to buy vintage, but when you start getting into the romantic mode of it, there's a lot of reasons why you should have vintage in your collection. There's a lot of reasons that it's just they just make a difference. New watches are cool, but depending on what you like, there is nothing like vintage, guys. I was going to show you this other one here. This watch, I am in the fence that if I should sell or not. So if I do, I will let you guys know. This is a nice 33mm watch in pristine condition. These old Movados, you can see the pushers for the date and the date. These Movados, a lot of these, the gold would wear out on them, but these were so well made at 20 microns that that if you have a chance to get a good one, I would say, guys, this is high horology right here. No joke. Good high horology in these old watches, if you could live with a 33mm watch. So guys, that's my video for today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate for you guys stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. And always collect vintage, but above all, NOP, never overpay. Do your homework, buy them at a good price, and that'll make the watch even more enjoyable. So guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it.